Hey, here are 5 stupid things I've noticed about contemporary Christian music. It's derivative. The phenomenon of contemporary Christian music creating Jesus-friendly doppelgangers of popular mainstream artists is well known. Seth Andrews has done a particularly good and entertaining job of documenting this in videos and on his podcast. For a genre that seems to take such pleasure in looking down its nose at so-called worldly music, it's odd how seemingly determined so many contemporary Christian artists and producers are to ape secular singers and musicians. The copycatting only goes so far as the style, though, since the content of contemporary Christian music is still preoccupied with one particular subject. And that's the main reason why it's repetitive. Really, how many songs can you write about Jesus? Christians have been making music in praise of their Savior for almost as long as there have been Christians, and it might not be a coincidence that almost all the best shit was written decades before anyone watching this video was born at the latest. The well is dry, guys. Or at least your well is dry. God, religion, and even Christianity are still rich subjects for music. It's just that all the good stuff is being produced by people who are outside the contemporary Christian bubble, who have a more thoughtful, less mindlessly reverent approach to the material. Speaking of that approach, it's fulsome. Contemporary Christian music has the same problem as contemporary Christian cinema. Its message is obvious, clumsily delivered, and always the same. We think Jesus is awesome, and you should think so too. This not only makes it repetitive, it gives every song, no matter the artist or the style, the unmistakable whiff of a pitch. A Christian artist isn't just expressing himself or trying to entertain you, he's selling you something. He's selling you Jesus, the most awesome, coolest, most perfect person ever. And this isn't surprising. After all, Christianity in general tends to avoid critical views of Jesus in favor of exuberant overpraising of Jesus, and selling the faith to the lost, sinful masses is in the church charter, so to speak. But it doesn't make the fucking music any better. It's insidious. One of the most irritating aspects of contemporary Christian music is its occasional tendency, despite the obstacles of its godliness in a supposedly God-hating world and its general shittiness, to cross over into the mainstream. Over the years, Christian artists like Amy Grant, Michael W. Smith, DC Talk, and, lest we ever forget, Creed, have escaped contemporary Christian and found a home in adult contemporary, country, pop, rock, alternative. No genre is safe, really. This was especially a problem during the 1990s, when virtually every time you turned on the radio, you ran the risk of inadvertently hearing some horrible contemporary Christian song. You switch on your favorite local rock station, and there's a fucking Jars of Clay song playing. So you flip over to the pop station, and it's Bob Carlyle. Remember him? Butterfly Kisses, that sappy horse shit? And some of you might be saying, well, what's the big deal? It's only music. If you're saying that, you've forgotten the most important thing about contemporary Christian music. It's fucking terrible. Sure, I'm just asserting my personal taste here. Some of you may disagree with my harsh assessment of the overall quality of contemporary Christian music. And you know what? We all experience and judge art on our own subjective terms. That's fine. That's actually one of the most beautiful things about art. So some of you watching this might think that, say, POD is an awesome band. That's great. But this is my video, and I think they're shit. Sometimes people ask me what my favorite type of music is, and that's actually a tough question because I like so many different types of music that it's difficult to choose a favorite. But least favorite type of music? Oh, that's an easy one. It's contemporary Christian, the genre that is unoriginal and artless and desperate for approval and yet disdainful of the non-Christian world from which it so hypocritically seeks that approval. To paraphrase the immortal words of Hank Hill, they're not making Christianity any better, they're just making rock and roll worse. The hardest part is only picking 5. Catch you next time.